The ringtone cut through the dead night like a blade. I was half hanging off the couch, still wearing yesterday's clothes, TV muttering some late-night infomercial to itself. Phone buzzing across the floor. Unknown number. No reason to answer. Answered anyway. Your wife passed out at my place, the voice said. Flat. Bored. Like he was reading it off a crumpled note. It was not the words that set my gut on fire, it was the casual tone, like this was normal. Like it was something that happened every Saturday night. For half a second I sat there frozen, phone pressed to my ear, breathing like a man who just got stabbed but had not figured it out yet. Then everything snapped into motion at once. I was on my feet. Shoes? Who cares? Wallet? Keys? Fine. Out the door. The address he texted was not some random dump or downtown dive. It was a house in a nice, cozy little neighborhood across town. White fences. Porch lights. Kids' bikes lying in yards. My tires screamed against the curb as I parked. I did not bother knocking like some polite idiot. My fist hit the door loud enough to rattle the windows. It opened slow like even the door knew I was not supposed to be here. And there he was. Kyle? Of course it was Kyle. Of all the rotten names in the world, it had to be that smug, spineless weasel. Kyle with his faux worried face. Kyle with his stupid half-buttoned shirt and that stupid cologne that stank like a middle school locker room. Emma's coworker. The guy she laughed about over dinner. The guy she said was harmless that I was being crazy for even asking. He leaned one shoulder against the doorframe like he lived there, blinking at me slowly like maybe if he did not move too fast, I would not notice the disaster behind him. I shoved past him. And there she was. Emma. On the couch. Half-dressed. Barefoot. Hair mess. A wine glass shattered on the floor next to her hand. I stood there, the cold air from outside still on my skin while my whole life sat in front of me like a bad painting. Kyle did not say a word. Neither did I. Because the smell hit me before the anger did perfume, alcohol, and something else that I could not even admit to myself yet. My wife. My Emma. The woman I married because she was supposed to be different. The woman who told me she was not like those girls. Kyle scratched the back of his head, glanced at her like she was a broken lamp he did not know what to do with. She got a little out of hand, he said, shrugging. Did not know who else to call. That's when I realized. He did not expect me to come. He expected me to roll over. To sit in my car and cry like some chump. To let him take care of my wife because clearly in their minds she was not mine anymore. My fists curled so tight my nails cut into my palms. I stared at Kyle, stared at Emma's crumpled body, and for a terrifying second I thought I might kill him. I stood there, fists clenched, heartbeat pounding in my ears so hard I almost did not hear Kyle's next words. You should probably get her out of here, man, he said, like I was an Uber driver picking up a drunk stranger. I did not move. I could not. My mind was stuck, like a scratched record, playing back the way she used to look at me, the way she promised, I would never hurt you. I'm not like that. But the scene in front of me did not lie. Emma was not passed out from too much wine at a work party. No. This was deeper, darker, dirtier. I crossed the living room in 3 strides. I grabbed her by the shoulder gently at first, shaking her. Emma, I hissed. Wake up. Her eyelids fluttered open and for a moment, just a moment, there was that flicker of recognition, the girl I knew. My wife. Then it was gone. She groaned, tried to sit up, looked around, confused. And then I saw it. The necklace. The one I gave her for our anniversary missing. Instead, she had some gaudy piece of crap hanging around her neck, something I knew she would never buy herself. Kyle's taste. I helped her stand. She reeked. Perfume, liquor, sweat, and something worse. Kyle stepped forward like he was going to help. I put my hand up fast and sharp between us and for a second, he flinched. Good. Without another word I half carried, half dragged Emma to the car. Slammed the door shut, climbed into the driver's seat. The second the door closed, The silence was suffocating. Emma slumped against the window, mumbling something I could not understand. I just stared at the steering wheel, my knuckles white, trying to remember how to breathe. I turned the ignition. Headlights slashed through the dark, across Kyle's smug face standing there on the porch, arms folded like he was proud of himself. I wanted to run him over. I actually pictured it for a second, flooring it, watching him dive out of the way like the coward he was. But no. He was not worth a prison sentence. She was barely conscious the whole drive home. Mumbling names that were not mine. Apologizing in a voice so fake it made my stomach turn. When we finally got home, she stumbled through the door and collapsed onto the couch. And that's when her phone, which she had stupidly left in my car, buzzed in the cup holder. One message from Kyle. Thanks for the best night of my life. She's wild when she wants to be. I sat there staring at that screen, the words burning into my brain until my hands started shaking. That was when it really hit me. This was not an accident. This was not a mistake. This was not she drank too much. No. She chose it. She wanted it. And she thought she was smart enough to get away with it. I did not storm into the living room like some raging idiot. No. I sat there in the driveway with the engine ticking as it cooled, reading that message from Kyle over and over again until it burned itself into the back of my skull. Thanks for the best night of my life. I laughed. Actually laughed a bitter, broken sound that did not even sound human. Then I shut the car off, grabbed her phone and walked inside. Emma was half asleep on the couch, snoring softly like she did not have a goddamn care in the world. Like she was not the world's biggest piece of garbage. I did not shout. I did not throw anything. I simply dropped the phone onto her stomach, hard enough that she jolted awake. Her eyes fluttered open, confused. Then annoyed. Like I was the problem. What the hell, Daniel? She mumbled, voice thick and slurred. Read it, I said, standing over her like a shadow. She blinked at the screen. The message from Kyle was right there, bright and waiting. Her face went pale for a second. One heartbeat. And then nothing. No shame. No panic. No apology. She just rolled her eyes. I'm tired, she said, flopping her head back down onto the cushions. We'll talk in the morning. That was it. That was her grand explanation. I saw red. Get up, I said through gritted teeth. She did not move. Did not even pretend to care. You reacting like a psycho, she muttered, turning away from me like I was an annoying fly buzzing around her. Psycho. Psycho. Because I had the gall to be angry that my wife spent the night getting railed by her coworker? I grabbed the edge of the couch and flipped it. Not onto her, but enough that it crashed over with a thunderous bang that shook the whole house. Finally she sat up, eyes wide, mouth hanging open. The asterisk is wrong with you? She screamed. I threw the phone at her feet. You tell me, Emma, I said, voice shaking. Tell me what's wrong with me, because from where I'm standing, the only thing wrong is that I ever believed a word you said. She scrambled up, stumbling backwards, hands raised like she thought I was going to hit her. I never would. Not even after everything. But seeing her scared, seeing her realize for one tiny second that she was not in control anymore, it felt good. She pulled the fake cry face. The one I'd seen her use on waiters, cops, managers, anyone she wanted something from. I was drunk, Daniel. It did not mean anything. She shouted the words tumbling out so fast they tripped over each other. Bullshit, I snapped. You overreacting. It was just a stupid mistake, okay? You so dramatic. I stared at her, at the girl I thought I knew, at the liar standing in front of me in someone else's necklace, and I realized I did not love her anymore. Not even a little. Whatever was left died right then and there, burned out of me in a white-hot second of betrayal. I did not even respond. I just turned around, grabbed my keys and walked back out the door. I sat in my car, hands gripping the wheel, staring at the front door like it might burst open and she'd come running after me. But she did not. No crying. No begging. No chasing. Nothing. The porch light buzzed and flickered overhead in the house I bought for us, the one we built together, the one where I thought we were building a life, just sat there like it did not even know who I was anymore. I did not drive away immediately. I needed a plan. I needed to breathe. I thought maybe she'd call. Apologize. Try to explain, even if it was bullshit asterisk T. Instead, my phone buzzed 20 minutes later with a text. Not from Emma. From Kyle. You see, not satisfy her, bro. Let her go. I gripped the phone so hard I thought it would shatter in my hand. This was not just an affair. This was an attack. Kyle wanted me to know. Emma wanted me humiliated. They were not even hiding it anymore. The rage nearly blinded me. But under it deeper, something colder took root. Resolve. I was not going to sit here like some pathetic fool while they pissed all over my life. I texted back one word. Enjoy her. And then I started making calls. Lawyer. Bank. Security company. Because if she wanted to burn everything down, fine. I would make sure she did not walk away from the ashes with a damn thing. An hour later, I pulled into a cheap motel parking lot. My brain would not stop buzzing, reeling through everything, her late nights, her secretive smiles at her phone, the way she used to tell me I was paranoid when I asked questions. She'd been laying the groundwork for this for months. And I had been too damn blind to see it. I checked into the motel with nothing but my keys, my wallet, and a hollow feeling in my chest where my heart used to be. While I was lying there on the lumpy mattress staring at the stained ceiling tiles, my phone buzzed again. Emma this time. I think we need to talk. Come home. No apology. No regret. No ownership. Just come home like I was some idiot dog waiting at the door. I did not answer. Minutes later, another text. If you think you're taking anything from me, you're out of your mind. There it was. The real Emma. Not the fake sweetheart she sold me when we first met. Not the fake loving wife who hated cheaters. The real her, vindictive, selfish, entitled. This was not just a betrayal. It was war. I stared at her last message for a long time, feeling nothing. Not sadness. Not anger. Just a bone-deep exhaustion. I put the phone down. Turned off the light. Tomorrow I would finish what she started. The next morning sunlight sliced through the crappy motel curtains like a knife to the face. I had not slept. I was not even tired. I was wired. Focused. I packed my things, which was really just my wallet and keys, and headed straight to my lawyer's office. Mr. Harris. A cold gray-haired shark with no patience for bullshit. Exactly what I needed. I laid it all out. The cheating, the texts, the drunken collapse at another man's house. I showed him Kyle's messages. I showed him Emma's nasty little threats. He did not blink. We'll crush her, he said, simply flipping through a notepad like he already had a checklist titled Emma's funeral. And that's when he hit me with the first blowback. Your house is in your name only. Correct? Yeah, I said, bought it 2 years before we got married. He smiled, not kindly, like a wolf finding an open wound. Good. She's got no claim. It was the first real breath I'd taken since that damn phone call. By noon, the locks at the house were changed. By 2 p.m., her cards were cancelled. By 3 p.m., the bank account, the one she used to buy herself designer bags and girls' nights, was frozen. She did not even realize it yet. She thought she still had the upper hand. And then, like clockwork, my phone started blowing up. First a call. Then a string of texts so fast they almost blurred together. What the F*** is wrong with you? You being insane. You see not do this to me. You ruining my life. I'll tell everyone you abusive. That last one hit me like an icy slap. There it was, the nuclear option. She was ready to lie to destroy me if she could not get her way. I did not answer. I just screenshot every single message. Evidence. Let her try. Around 5 p.m., there was a knock at my motel door. I did not even have to check to know it was her. I opened it anyway. Emma stood there, makeup smeared, sunglasses on like she was hiding black eyes she did not have. Her hair was messy, her arms crossed tight over her chest, clutching herself like she was the victim in all this. "Daniel," she said, voice trembling like some second-rate actress. "Please, can we just talk?" I stared at her. At this pathetic performance. At the woman who would have gutted me without blinking if I had not caught her first. "Talk," I said, voice low. "You had months to talk." "I made a mistake," she blurted, stepping closer. Call meant nothing to me. It was just stupid. I did not want to lose us over one stupid night. One night, I cut her off, laughing bitterly. "You think I believe that?" She froze. The mask slipped just a fraction and I saw the real Emma flash through, angry, calculating, cruel. "I can forgive you," she said, voice suddenly sharp. "We can move past this, but you have to stop acting like a child." There it was. The arrogance. Even now, after all the lies, all the disrespect, she still thought she could gaslight me into staying. I shook my head. "You do not live here anymore," I said, stepping back inside and closing the door right in her face. I locked it. Deadbolt and chain. Her fists pounded on the wood for a few minutes. And when she realized I was not coming back, I heard her scream something, maybe a threat, maybe an insult. I did not care anymore and stomped off into the parking lot. I leaned against the door and exhaled slowly. It was over. Not the legal stuff, not the fight still coming, but us. Her power over me. Over God. I stayed by the door for a while after she left, half expecting her to come back, swinging, maybe even dragging Kyle with her for backup. But nothing. Silence. It should have felt peaceful. But there was this thick electric tension hanging in the air. Like the calm before a tornado rips the roof off. And I was right to feel it. Because the next strike came fast. At 8 p.m., I got an email, not a text, not a call, an email from her subject line, formal notice, the body of it, some copy-pasted legal threat about wrongful eviction and emotional distress and a load of other garbage she clearly pulled from some shady lawyer or more likely some stupid blog she read while sipping wine. She was threatening to sue me for kicking her out of my house, for freezing my accounts, for not letting her treat me like a doormat while she spread her legs for Kyle behind my back. It would have been hilarious if it was not so pathetic. I forwarded the email straight to Mr. Harris without even replying. 2 minutes later, he called me. "She has no case," he said flatly. She is grasping at straws. "Do not respond. Let her humiliate herself." Good. Let her. But it did not stop there. Next came the mutual friends. The texts started dripping in from people I had not heard from in months. "Hey man. Heard you threw Emma out? WTF happened? Emma S. saying you snapped and went crazy on her? She S. at Shannon S. place crying her eyes out. Said you've been controlling for years." That word, controlling, the one word every guilty cheater uses when they get caught. I did not even bother explaining myself to half of them. If they believed her side without even asking mine, they were not friends worth keeping anyway. But a handful knew better. Ben, my best man at the wedding, sent me a simple text. "Do not worry. Everyone knows who the real snake is." It helped. A little. Still, the betrayal did not stop eating at me. Not just her betrayal, everyone else. The ones who smiled at me at parties while whispering behind my back. The ones who watched her flirt with Kyle and said nothing. That night, sitting in the motel bed with the TV off and the city humming outside my window, it hit me all at once. Emma was not just trying to hurt me. She wanted to erase me, rewrite the story so she was the poor little angel and I was the evil tyrant. She wanted to turn me into the villain so she could play the victim. She did not just cheat. She did not just lie. She wanted to destroy me, and that more than anything made me realize there was no saving this. No fixing. No talking. I was done with her completely. The next morning I told Mr. Harris to move forward with everything. Full divorce. No settlement. Take her for everything she ever touched that had my name on it. It was war now. And this time, I was not going to fight fair either. By noon the next day. The divorce papers were filed fast, brutal, non-negotiable. Emma did not even know it yet. I sat there at a coffee shop across from Mr. Harris, watching him send the final email like it was a sniper shot, cold, precise, no warning. He glanced up at me over his glasses, smiling faintly. "She's going to lose her mind when she sees this," he said. "Good, let her." I went straight from there to the bank and closed out every joint account we had. She was locked out of everything. No shopping sprees on my dime. No desperate grabs at my savings. By 2 p.m., her car, which was registered in my name, was reported repossessed. "Enjoy taking the bus, sweetheart." Every key she had, house, car, mailbox, was useless now. And the best part, I did not tell her any of it. I let the world start caving in around her while she kept posting Instagram stories of her self-care healing journey, like some deranged influencer, fake smiles, fake friends, fake strength. She had no idea the rug was about to get ripped out from under her. Later that night, around 9 p.m., I got the call. I'd been waiting for unknown number again. Same as the night this whole nightmare started. I answered. "Daniel," she said, trying to keep her voice calm, but you could hear it cracking underneath. I think we need to be adults about this. Okay, there's no reason to be so aggressive." I leaned back in the motel chair, looking up at the moldy ceiling. "Adults," I repeated flatly. "Yes," she said, voice warming up, trying to soften me like she always did when she wanted something. "I mean, we had good times too, right? It does not have to be ugly." I could almost see her twirling her hair around her finger, blinking those fake innocent eyes. God, it used to work on me every damn time, not anymore. "I already filed." I said. "Silence, you what?" She stammered. "Divorce." I said, smiling like she could see it. "Finalized the papers this morning. You'll be served officially tomorrow." Another beat of dead silence. Then the real Emma exploded through the cracks. "UF*** and a piece of SHT. She shrieked. "You think you're going to ruin my life because you re too much of a pathetic loser to keep me happy. You re nothing without me." There it was. The truth, the venom that had been dripping behind every fake kiss, every forced laugh, every lie she ever told me. I stayed quiet, letting her scream, letting her drown herself in her own filth. When she finally ran out of breath, I said quietly, "You already ruined your own life, Emma. I'm just taking out the trash." And then I hung up, blocked her number, blocked her on every platform, deleted every photo, every video, every memory. It was over for real this time. I stood by the window for a long time after that, watching cars roll by, people living their normal quiet lives. I felt lighter, like I had finally ripped a leech off my soul. And somewhere out there, Emma was realizing that for the first time in her miserable, selfish life, she lost, and she would keep losing because people like her, they do not know how to survive without someone else to feed off of. And I was done feeding her. I thought she'd vanish after that call, lick her wounds, find some new sucker to drain. But no, Emma was not wired for quiet defeat. 2 days later, right as I was settling into a weird, peaceful numbness, I got a knock at my motel room door. I knew it was her before I even looked. But I opened it anyway, just to see what kind of circus she was dragging with her this time. There she stood in a low-cut top and tight jeans. Mascara smudged perfectly to look like she'd been crying for days. The whole act, the desperate last chance Hail Mary. "Daniel," she said softly, stepping closer. "I miss you." I did not move. "You miss my bank account," I said. Her face flickered. Just for a second. But she caught herself plastering that same fake wounded expression over it. "No," she whispered. "I miss us. I made a mistake. Cal means nothing. He*s disgusting. I do not know what I was thinking. We can fix this." I almost laughed. Fix this? Like you can slap duct tape on a betrayal that deep. Before I could answer, she took another step forward and without asking, tried to kiss me reflexively. I pushed her back. Not hard, Just enough. And that S when her mask completely shattered. She glared up at me. Teeth bared like some feral animal. You seriously going to throw away everything? She hissed over one little mistake. One, I said, voice low and cold. How many one times were there, Emma? How many mistakes before Kyle? She opened her mouth, closed it. I starting away. Exactly. She started pacing, hands flying in the air, unraveling faster by the second. You were so boring, Daniel. She snapped. All you did was work and talk about your future plans and responsibilities. Like anyone cares about that shit. Cal was fun. He made me feel alive. There it was. The truth, raw and ugly and radioactive. I stared at her, not even angry anymore. Just done. You wanted a party boy? A clown to make you feel like you mattered? I said, voice deadly calm. Good luck with Kyle. Let us see how much you love feeling alive. When you broke and living in someone else's garage, her mouth opened like she was going to fire something back. But nothing came out because deep down she knew it knew exactly what she threw away. I shook my head, stepped back into the room and closed the door in her face again. This time slow, deliberate, final. I locked it, pulled the curtain closed. And when she started pounding and screaming outside, I did not even flinch. Not my problem anymore. Let Kyle deal with her tantrums now. She was officially someone else's burden. And me, I was free. Truly, finally free. After that night, Emma tried everything. Texts from random numbers. Emails pretending to be concerned friends. A fake sob story posted all over social media. How she was left homeless by an abusive, controlling husband and needed support during this difficult time. She really thought she could flip the narrative. Thought people would line up to wipe her tears and call me the monster. But the thing about Emma was, she overplayed her hand. Badly, the people she thought she could manipulate, they knew her too well. They'd seen the cracks way before I ever did. Screenshots of her lies started leaking. Old girls' nights where she bragged about Kyle. DMs she sent to other guys even while we were still married. She was not just a cheater. She was a serial liar. An addict for attention. A user, plain and simple. And once the truth started slipping out, she could not plug the holes fast enough. Friends she counted on disappeared. Family members, even her own sister, started pulling away. Even Kyle, the dumbass prince she chose over me, started ghosting her. I heard through the grapevine that Kyle did not want that kind of drama in his life. That kind of drama. Funny, coming from the guy who thought he was the king of sneaking around with married women. Word was, Kyle dumped her a week after everything exploded. Left her standing outside some dive bar screaming into the night. She tried moving into her best friend's apartment. Lasted 3 days before they kicked her out. Apparently, constant crying and stealing clothes was not a big hit. Next, she tried moving back with her parents. They said no. Flat out cold. No. Her own parents. I could almost taste it. The delicious, brutal irony. Emma, the queen bee, the girl who could have anyone she wanted, who laughed in my face when I begged her once to just be honest, was now couch surfing, begging for rides and posting cringy, motivational quotes on Instagram like that would fix her reputation. Meanwhile, me, I moved into a sleek apartment across town. New furniture, new number, new everything. Started hitting the gym again. Started sleeping like a damn baby for the first time in months. Started remembering who I was before she poisoned my life. Freedom did not come cheap. It came with scars. Nights where I'd sit alone, staring at walls, trying not to punch holes in them. But every day away from her, every day her voice faded a little more from my head. It was worth it. And the best part? She could not do a damn thing about it. No amount of crocodile tears. No amount of fake apologies. No amount of dirty tricks. I was untouchable now. She was the one choking on the smoke of her own fire. And I did not even have to lift a finger to watch her burn. It's been months now. Long enough that when her name pops up in conversation or rare, like a ghost no one really wants to talk about, I do not feel anything. No rage. No sadness. Not even hate. Just nothing. She is a shadow. A bad memory I outgrew. When people ask me how I got through it, I tell them the truth, the kind of truth nobody likes hearing. You have to let them destroy themselves. You do not scream. You do not beg. You do not try to show them the error of their ways. You stand still. You let the lies they told pile up until the weight crushes them on its own. And then you walk away without a backward glance. Because the worst punishment for someone like Emma is not you fighting back. It is you not caring at all. That is the part they see not survive. The silence. The indifference. They thrive off the chaos, the attention, the drama. Cut them off and they wither like a dying plant. I learned that love, real love, is not about fixing broken people who want to stay broken. It is not about sacrificing your soul to heal someone who does not even think they are sick. It is about protecting your peace like it is your last lungful of air. Would I ever trust someone again? Yeah. But not blindly. Not stupidly. And never again at the cost of my own self-respect. I do not regret walking away. I regret not doing it sooner. If you rereading this stuck with someone who lies to your face and laughs behind your back, hear me. They are not your responsibility. Their pain is not your debt to pay. Their chaos is not your life to clean up. Save yourself. Because people like Emma, they'll drown you with them smiling the whole way down. And when you finally claw your way back to the surface, when you gasping for air wondering if it was all worth it, you'll realize. It was. Every painful, bloody, gut-wrenching second. Because peace? Real, quiet, solid peace? That is priceless. And now? Now it is mine. Forever.